Hello, people. We are back at the podcast, episode 228, and we are back for another episode of Us. It is your boy, International Walk.
It's your girl, Tosh, the co-host with the mostest.
And we are here for another episode of Us. Hope y'all like it, because we like it. Y'all know all the platforms that y'all can catch us on, the Instagrams, the YouTubes, TikTok, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Podcast Index, Podchaser, Google Podcast, Player FM. You ever see when the credits roll at the end of something and they speed it up? We are here. Y'all are here. Thank you for all the 9 million listeners out there. We're trying to get to 10, so keep running it up, keep running it up, keep running it up. But much love to the 9 million out there. Let's get right to it. How are you?
You ever see the TikTok video?
No. I gotta go back. I ain't been watching much TikTok, which I had fun there because I like the videos. But
yeah, I'm like a part-time TikToker. Like I could be on there for like a couple days, then I might not be on there for a couple weeks. Yeah. I am good. I am good mentally. I'm a 10. I feel great. I feel blessed. I feel loved. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up.
If I had like a sound, it would be like, it was a 10.
Yeah, I feel great. Financially, an 8, thanking God. My eyes felt like they was crossing for a minute. Too much blinking.
I thought you was about to cry. I was about to say, it's okay, babe. No. It's okay, babe. Let it out. Like the Holy Ghost done creeped up in her real quick. All she said was God.
No, I was just grateful to God. Work is good. Work is a 10. No complaints there. And physically I'm feeling great as well. At this moment, I'm a 10. So, I'm feeling pretty good.
Dimes across the board?
Pretty good. Except for finances and 8, but
wow.
Yeah, I feel great.
Wow.
At this moment, I feel great. Might not have felt great an hour ago. May not feel great an hour from now. But I'm living where my feet are.
Okay.
How are you?
Let me see. Right now, I am feeling
mentally.
I feel like a 10. I think I do feel like a 10. I'm feeling no worries. I'm feeling sharp. No heaviness. So yeah, I feel like a 10. I guess I can ride with a 10. Finances always gonna be an 8. God has been a blessing to us, and will continue to be a blessing to others. Work's a 10. Work's a 10. I would say yeah. A lot going on at work. You know, just when you think, or just when I feel like, I'm sorry, people, I'm eating a mint, but just when I feel like, you know, my job can be so super stressful and overwhelming and demanding at times, they always slide in and thank me monetarily, where it's like, you motherfuckers. But yeah, it works a 10. I would say yeah, it's a 10.
We got some money? No, I'm messing with you.
Physically, I feel like I would say a 9. Okay, mine ain't gonna be 10s across the board, but I'm gonna say a 9 just to leave some room for some growth. So yeah, that's how I am.
Yeah. I have to say, you know, we've been in the gym together a couple of days. Even though I had the opportunity to go by myself in the morning times when I know that my schedule will allow for me to go with you, I like waiting for you because I really love you, the push that you give me. I like being there, like looking over. I be feeling like we like, in my mind, we like.
Wasn't really necessary, huh?
No, it was because I can't always go with you.
I'm just saying.
But when I can, then I love
Which
to.
Which would be more than not.
No.
You will go with me more times than you don't.
It ebbs and flows. Like next week, I got a pretty busy week, so it ebbs and flows. But nevertheless, I was saying I love like looking over and you push me like, all right, I got to do 5 more, or you know, sometimes you be trying to kill me, like wanting me to lift the same weight as you.
Because your body can do what you think it can't do.
It can, but then I have to like.
And I hate all that huffing and puffing you doing there. All that looking like your brain about to bust. Everybody else is working out, tightening up, and she's like, like, she get done a rep. It's the end, 19, 20. And it's like, oh my God.
I
like
don't care about what nobody else.
Who the lady is?
They might.
Who the lady is?
Who?
She Angela Bassett in the gym. That's who she is. Angela Bassett in the goddamn gym.
First of all, I don't know what kind of weights they're lifting. Like, I be doing some strong stuff.
I know.
I'm
proud of you.
The treadmill man, he makes a lot of noise when he's working out. Like, everybody ain't quiet.
That guy I'm going to say something to at the counter, and I'm going to put an email online. I am. You got to say something because he can't be back. He's walking slow and grunting.
Grunting on the treadmill.
He's on like a 1.5 and a 1 incline, and he's like,
Wait. To my Forrest Gump fans, y'all remember when Forrest's mom was having sex with the guy from school so they could let Forrest, and then when Forrest come out, he looked to let him know he heard him, and he that is this man on the treadmill. He's an older black man. He
wear a weight belt to walk.
He don't even be doing like a whole lot. He do more moaning and grunting. And you know, I give him grace in my heart. I don't want to be near him, but I think like, who knows? He could have had a heart condition, and him just being able to do this may be, you know, a good. I don't know. I try to give him grace, but I want him away from me. I can't. It's
Nobody's
so
saying he
distracting.
Can't be there. It's the grunting. I don't think you need to grunt because you had a heart condition or something.
I'm just saying it may be harder for him to work out. He's not a quiet worker outer either. I'm not a quiet worker outer. Like, I have to, like, that's my way of like releasing.
But you're silent and doing it. You're not making any noise. You're not like him. You're just with the dramatics. Like, and I'm not trying to say like you want attention or you want me to see you. It's just, I guess, how you release the pain or the frustration of I'm doing this thing that I don't want to do. It's exasperation.
It's not that I don't want to do it. It was hard to do it. So it's like when you see an Olympic runner at the end of the race and when they did good, they stand there with their hands on their knees. Like,
you would lay down.
That's probably
the difference.
Would.
You would lay down in the fetal position and lay there like, everybody else would just be on their hands and knees, and you would be like what? I gotta get some rest, y'all. I just ran. You would, babe. I don't care what you say. You can stare at me. You dramatic in the gym. You are.
That's enough. I'm not worried about nobody else. I ain't trying to put on a show for nobody. Oh my God! Now she
getting defensive.
No, I'm defending myself. I'm not putting on a show for nobody. I'm not worried about anybody else. I work out what's comfortable for me, and I ain't like one of them people on the treadmill, you know, with my music and dancing and stuff. You know, I do my thing, but anyway.
It don't make you a bad person.
This turned into me giving you a compliment to now you being shady to me.
I'm just not being shady to you. I love you and I'm proud of you in the gym, but you are dramatic.
I'm going to the gym by myself for
okay, whatever.
All right.
After just saying that you love me.
I do love you immensely. Your wows and woes for this week?
My woe, I'm gonna start with a woe. My woe is my wife asked me to go on a gala with her, and I work, right, and I gotta get up at 3:30 in the morning. So this thing was really, really far. It was in Newark, New Jersey,
which is like an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's like an hour and a half from us, and it was raining. And I'm usually in the bed at 7:30, 7:45, 8 o'clock at the latest, and you know, resting, getting ready to get up at 3:30 in the morning. But I, not reluctantly, I supportively went with my wife to this gala because she was giving a speech, and I wanted to support her and be in the crowd so that I know she was nervous purpose, and I wanted to see her speak in front of people. I never saw her speak in front of people, so I wanted to see her live speak in front of people, and she did an awesome job. So I'm tying my woe into my wow. So that was the woe, is that I was up late, had to drive a really long way, be in the car for a couple of hours in the rain, doing 70 miles an hour, not at the time that I'm outside. So that's the woe. The wow is she did such a fucking awesome job doing this speech about her reaching out and implementing and all the stuff that she does in her job. And it was a gathering of her team. And her team was there to support her because of all their hard work, the stuff that they do. They work in sync with each other. So it was just great to see her being recognized like that, and then her team picking her to, accept the award on their behalf. And we come home with the chip. So that's how we do. We come home with the chip. That's the wow. We come home with the chip. Not only was she up there giving her speech that everybody loved and was coming up to her, and that's another thing, seeing her in that space where other people, you know, like her and want to be around her as much as I do. So that was cool to see, like, people stopping her, like, hey, I liked your speech. Like, how can we connect and all that stuff? Like, it's just a good feeling to see that the hard work that she does and put in for us and our family, even though it's just two of us here. But, you know, this is my family, and she puts in a lot of work and hard work, and the chip comes home. So I'm super proud of her. Yeah, super proud of her. The chip comes home. We're going to keep that there just for the rest of the show. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to turn it to the side. Y'all don't need to see where she work at and all that kind of stuff. But the chip come home. How about you?
Well, I don't have any wows. I'm sorry. I don't have any woes. You know, my wow is piggybacking off of you.
Just put your ring on, huh?
Just the whole entire experience. Truly, truly grateful for being able to have a job that is something that I love. I look at it as it's my job. It's what I get paid to do. But it's also for me, me fulfilling my promise to God and serving people and helping to give back in the capacity that I do. And being selected to, you know, accept the award on behalf of my team, to speak in front of people. It was just really, for me, a culmination of, like, so much that I have been working towards. And then the cherry on top was my baby joining me. I go to a lot of galas and events and stuff for my job. And they, for the most part, most of them are a pretty long distance. In the 2 years, this is the second one that he went to with me. The other one was like 10 minutes away. But because of his schedule, you know, it's just not optimal for him to come. And I get it. Like, it's no shade. I don't feel any bad way about him not coming, because I understand. But this was a really special night. And him just agreeing to come. I thought he was going to take off work the next day because I knew about, you know, how late it was. But, you know, he's a hard worker and he's a boss, so he didn't do that. But just making that sacrifice to be there for me, to support me. He helped me practice my speech the night before. You know, just being able to have him on my arm as my +1 and be my number one cheerleader. I really, really, really appreciate it. I know my job requires a lot of time, just a lot of time away from home and things like that, and
time management. Yeah,
and I just really appreciate, you know, your support. I've been through a lot of different jobs and career changes, and always on the, you know, always upward mobility, but you have been supportive, and, you know, may not always understand why and where and all the things that I have to do, but I just really, really, really appreciate it. It was a great night, and you were my cherry on top.
I love you, and I always show up for you. Well, I'll show up for you when it's, you know, when the time is good. Right. Like when you really, really need me.
Yeah.
But other than that, I know you're a big girl, and you can go out and handle business yourself and do things and be in those spaces yourself. But when you need me, I'm there.
And I appreciate that.
And I always will be.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It was a beautiful evening, and I'm grateful for my team and the work that we do. It feels good being recognized. You know, we do the things that we do not for recognition, but when someone else, you know, does recognize the work that you do, it just kind of, it's a motivator to kind of push you forward. And I had said this to my husband, and you know, I've heard people talk about like imposter syndrome or feeling like they don't belong in spaces. And for a half second, like, there were two beautiful young ladies who came up to me, you know, in separate instances to like ask some questions and things. And I kind of felt, as I was talking to them, like, it's just weird that you're talking to me and asking me these questions and wanting, you know, feedback from me. Not like I felt like I didn't belong there, but almost for a half second, like I wasn't worthy of being the one for them to ask questions of. And then I had to remind myself of, like, you that girl. Like,
because
like,
once was, I think that's a feeling of once feeling like, and I don't know, you can say better than me, but once feeling like I didn't have anything to offer. And now I have purpose and something to offer. So to ask yourself that question, do I belong here? That's the trepidation in the whole situation is, damn, I remember when I didn't have anything to offer, and now I do, and I'm seeing the results of it. Like people are coming up to me and saying, hey, I like that thing you did or said or offered. How do we connect, or how do we, how can I be a part of that? And it's something that you created or something that you implemented or something that you're spearheading.
And I think I always felt like I had something to offer, but it was more on a personal level and more like for the people that knew me, like whether it was my sister or my sisters or friends or like my sister's friends, like wanting advice or support. So it was like, okay, you had to know me to know that I had something to offer, where now it's like a bigger audience of people just seeing a snippet of me and feeling like I have something to offer. And then I guess too, looking at, people who, one of the girls, she was a medical resident, the other girl was a psychology major. And, I got an associate's degree, but I got a lot of experience. I got a lot of sense. I have a lot of knowledge that I can offer and share. And again, sometimes some people may feel, I guess it's not like I don't feel like I belong in the room, because like I'm going to have a seat at the table. Like I can hold my own there, at any table. But I guess in that sense, it was for a half second and feeling like, wow, like you want some information from me. And it was almost like affirmation of, yeah, like God got you exactly where you're supposed to be. And, like you absolutely are worthy. You absolutely have earned, like, not that I'm opposed to it, but I'm not the result of any kind of nepotism. Like nobody put me in this position. Like I have literally worked my way to where I am.
You're an odds beater. You beat the odds of where we come from, what you've been through, how we met, both of us having nothing, all the jobs that you went through since we've been together, and then finally getting the one that you want and desired, and then thriving at it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And they all have kind of added to where I am. And again, it was just a beautiful night and a beautiful moment, and I'm still relishing in it and grateful. And it kind of, sometimes work can work you, and it was a lot going on the last month or so, and sometimes you need that recharge or that ignition of your fire, and it was just a beautiful night. So I'm happy that you were there with me, to hold my hand, to take pictures with me, just to be a part of that memory.
Yeah, I'm glad I was there too. Again, I don't like to commit to things like that, because just like your work is important to you, mine is important to me, and I'm on a really important job. So it's like I want to show up for my wife, but I also got to show up for work. And sometimes, just ask God, give me the strength, because I'm being pulled in a couple different ways. And I also want to work out at the gym. So, it's, I want to show up for myself too. So it's just like a lot. But, he gave me the strength. I get through it, and we here.
Let me ask you a question.
Shoot.
Is it to you, do you feel that it is more important, or I won't say more important, is it better to love or to be loved?
Better to love or to be, I think to be loved. Yeah, to be loved is more.
Care to expound?
Yeah, I am. Let me just get my words together. I think being loved is what we're here for, to experience a soulmate, a person of that you choose to love you to the pinnacle of love, the way that you would love them. So I think to experience being loved and cared about, that's all humans want, is to be cared about and loved. And so to experience that on that level, I think is better than you loving somebody on that level, because you can love somebody deeply and give them your all and they not be giving it back. But if you experience a person taking care of you, looking out for you, being there with you when you're down, being there with you when you're up, all of the things that life throws at you, that person is there, then I think that's better to experience being loved than you actually loving. Not that you loving isn't good, a feeling that isn't good,
just
because
one,
I love
better?
this person, but to be loved, to have to lay in somebody's arms and they want you there, to walk into a room and somebody smiles because you showed up, for somebody just to touch you randomly, like that shit is amazing.
Put your hands down, you cover
Yeah,
your mouth.
that shit is amazing. So, yeah, I would think to be loved is better. Why you look so mean? You had a wrinkle in your forehead and everything.
It may just be the bright light or something.
He was like,
no, I was listening to you, but no, I was just listening to you. It probably was the light, but no, I wasn't feeling mean at all. Okay.
What about you?
It's weird because for many of the reasons that you said, I feel to love, for me, is better to love.
Okay.
To have someone in your arms that you're able to pour into, that you're able to rub their back, rub their shoulders, hold them, caress them, pray for them, and just like feel your energy going into them. To, see somebody that you love walk into a room and you smile and you greet them warmly, to like shower them with that love. To see kids that you know or don't know and you're able to smile and put a smile on their face and make them feel good about themselves, or pour into them. To me, like, that is such a great feeling to like pour on to people. I like you said, both are great. Like you need to be refilled. So to be loved feels amazing, but for me, it's the better feeling is to love. And I think, in life, people talk about karma and all that kind of stuff, but it's reciprocal. I think you may not always receive the love from all the places that you desire or in all the ways that you desire, but I think just the way life works, when you love, it's going to come back to you. So you're going to be loved. But again, for me, to love is better.
I don't think I necessarily agree with the last part, but I feel you on your reasons why it feels that way for you.
Yeah.
What's my type? If somebody was to say, describe Walt, what is he like? What's your type? What's my type?
Your type, you like a thickums. You sure enough like a thickums, if we're talking about physically.
No, what's my type? Not what I like. Or how did you mean that? Because I
meant like, what's your type? Like, what type of person, what type of woman do you
I thought you meant if somebody was to say, describe Walt, like, what's his type? Like, what's his makeup? That's what I thought that meant. But okay, we can do it that way.
Yeah, that's what
it's your question. I was just wondering, how did you interpret it? Because that's how I interpret it. Like, what's my makeup?
No, I interpret it as what's your type.
Okay, go ahead. We can do that. I like a thickums.
Yeah, you like a thickums. So let's talk about the physical. You like a thickums. You don't really care about, big boobs or big butt. If it comes with them being thick, then okay. Mm-hmm. But, as long as they got some meat on the bone. Your complexion, you are an equal opportunity lover when it comes to complexion as well. But you prefer, a caramel, medium chocolate, complexion.
Prefer what I prefer.
You like femininity, like gotta be soft and pink.
Girly girl.
Yeah, I'm doing this. I got this. It gotta be soft and pink, and kept together. You no small head, bald heads, as you call it. You don't like short hair. Mm-hmm. And they gotta. You don't like a whole lot of. You don't mind a little light beat, now and then for the, the glam, but you don't like a whole lot of fakery. You don't mind a weave here and there, but not a whole lot of fakery. No eyelashes. Lord, no.
Absolutely not.
Lord, no eyelashes. Yeah, and
absolutely not.
And so that's the physical part. Gotta be maintained, you know. And it don't even have to be like no fancy smancy, because if you had somebody that just wore their hair back in a nice straight back pony every day, that's enough for you. You're simple but specific. If and I know that's kind of like oxymoronic, but you're simple in the things that you like. You like the simple things, but you're specific about the simple things you like. Like you like nice nails and feet, but they don't have to be all bedazzled, but they just, you know, well maintained. That's what it is. You like a well maintained woman. Doesn't have to be high maintenance, but a well maintained woman. Mm-hmm. Mentally, they gotta have some conversation, gotta have some sense. No drugs, no alcohol, which is so weird because that wasn't always like your thing. But, well, when I say drugs, like, you know, back in the day we smoked together.
Drugs is drugs. It's a broad statement.
I know, but I'm saying like
put a lot under that umbrella.
Back in the day we smoked together. And I ain't smoked in 20 plus years, but I'm just saying at this stage of your life. And we drank together, but, you know.
And then that time we used to hit the pipe.
Say sorry. Say psych. Say psych. No, I ain't never smoked no pipe. Except that one time. Like, no, you remember you smoked that weed pen?
Yeah.
And was like.
In the car
I was in the car, was like, don't ever smoke that again, because you talking about catching a contact. I said, don't ever smoke that again around me.
I was like 98%. She was like,
before I'm like, babe, something's up with that. Like, I can feel it. I was in the car knocked out. Like, never again. Please don't smoke that. But yeah, no weed, no drugs, no alcohol, definitely no cigarettes. And when I say a thickums, it's, you know, again, kind of oxymoronic. A healthy thickums. Like, you can't be a fat slob. And he don't even mind if like you like a thick thickums, but you know, it gotta be well maintained. And you know, you gotta have some sense about you. You gotta have some it's just me that I'm describing, y'all. That's really all this is.
Some ambition.
I'm just describing me.
I get it. Some workout, some God in you.
Yeah.
You need to have all those things. But yeah, so I mean, nobody has all that except who I'm sitting next to. So.
But I mean, physically, but on a serious note, like physically, I know, and don't get me wrong, and we don't play no third parties in this, but I know like what your type was, like if you had to look for a woman. And I could like if I was your sister and like talk to a woman, I would know immediately like, nope, he wouldn't be interested. Like, and don't let her be like
what? The sound you made? Like what?
And she could be a little bit hood, but not ratchet. It's a difference. You can be a little hood, a tiny bit ghetto, but not ratchet. Mm-hmm. Yeah, not ratchet.
Ratchet is bonnet wearing, slippers outside, pajama pants.
Yeah.
It's not going down.
Yeah,
it's not going down.
What would you describe as my type?
This is weird because I think your type is tall, dark-skinned, bearded guys, which some people would say, well, she's settled with you because I'm tall, but I'm not dark-skinned. I have a beard, yes. But I think you like, at this age, you like salt and pepper men, beard and hair. You like locks. You do like the darker skin hue of men. You're not all about all the muscles, but you don't like big dudes at all. You kind of racist against big dudes. You gotta have some sense, gotta be able to talk. You can't be a whole bunch of, on the corner talking to the fellas, but you trying to talk to her like that. You can't do that.
Don't ever call me bruh or bro.
Or bitch, or yo, or any of those things. Like, you talking to the homies. Like, she the homie, but you can't talk to her like she the homie. Lady. That's what I'm saying. Like, she my homie. But, so when I say she the homie, I could talk to her like that. But she know I don't talk to her like that. What else do you? Oh, you gotta have something going for you, as far as earnings, cause she ain't, ain't gonna mess with a bum. She don't like midgets, at all. So you gotta be tall. What else? No smoking. No, I don't know if she mind if a guy would drink. I don't know. She don't want me to drink, so I would say no. So no drinking, no cigarettes. You probably could get your weed off. That's not a problem.
Get your weed off.
Yeah. So yeah, that's probably your type. Gotta have God.
Absolutely.
And you gotta listen. Gotta be attentive. Because if she thinks that you don't listen to her or don't pay attention to her, she ain't gonna fucking pay attention to you or like you or any of that or feel attracted to you. So you gotta be open to listening to her and talking to her and hearing her and just seeing her. That's all that things fall under the umbrella of. You have to see her. So you can be all those things that I named. If you don't see her, it still ain't gonna work out.
And I kind of forgot, when it comes to you, your love language is quality time. So you can't be, outside, like, and not to say you can't have a life and, still have a life, but you have to, you have to be comfortable. You also have to be comfortable in gender roles. And I know for every woman, that ain't the thing. Like, you might feel like, well, we equal. I don't feel like I'm equal to a man. Like, I don't, and I don't want to be.
That's another thing. I don't want my woman to feel, and that sounds chauvinistic, but I don't want my woman to feel equal. When she speak about gender roles, not equal in that sense. Like, I'm speaking equal like in gender roles. Like, there's things that I don't want to do within the marriage, within the household. And then there's things that she don't want to do.
Yeah, I don't want to take the trash out.
Yeah, like, okay, if I don't ever wash dishes, then she don't ever touch trash. If I don't, and I can cook, I have cooked, but if I don't ever cook, she don't ever shovel snow. Like, it's an even trade-off. It's not, what I mean? And then we both cook. I mean, we both can cook. We both clean. So all those things, they tie in together. But there's certain things that we've been together for 25 years that she's never done. And then there's things that I'm not at the sink washing dishes. I'm not washing clothes. Those are things that she does. But again, when it snows, make some coffee. I got it. I'm going to go out there and put the coat on in the cold and snow, and she can sip coffee and look out the window. I'm good. I'm not mad like, you in there warm. Like, no, this is a gender role. I'm going to take care of this because when we eat, I ain't washing the dishes.
Yeah. And we do, and don't get me wrong, it's been times that I remember when I twisted my ankle, and at that time we didn't have a wash and dry, and you go to a laundromat. You went to a laundromat for it, so you will step up.
I went to the laundromat. I'll wash dishes. I'll cook her food if she's incapacitated. Like, I'll bring food here. I'll get food. I'll cook food. Whatever we got to do.
You bring the groceries when they drop them off at the door. But when you had surgery and couldn't, I brought in the groceries. So, I mean, yeah. Now, is there anything that I described about your type that you think I got wrong?
No. Oh, yeah, you didn't say make me laugh. You have to be funny. You have to make me laugh. Yeah, you can be all those things, but if you never make me giggle, nah. Like, you can checklist all 34 of those things, but if you can't make me giggle, then I can't be myself around you and, like, make you laugh, because it's like, why are you so serious all the fucking time?
The conversation piece for me is like one of the big, like, I gotta be able to talk, and not just talk to you, we gotta be able to have reciprocal intellectual conversation. Like, I ain't expecting you to be an expert in anything.
No.
But we have to, like, you have to have a vocabulary that I always remember. That was like one of the first things that, when seeing you all my life, it was like a physical thing. Like, oh, he looked good, and I want to, be with him.
Jump his bones.
Yeah, that. But then I'll never forget, like, before we ever had, before there was ever anything sexual, being on the phone with you, and it was like he got conversation, like, he can talk, he got some sense, like, I'm not going to say I remember what we were talking about, but I just remember it being like, wow, like we just had a great conversation, and I didn't have to dumb myself down. Like it was good. It wasn't. I mean, like how the kids say today. It wasn't just what you doing, nothing. What you doing, nothing. What you doing, watching TV? What you like? No, we had a real conversation, and that was like, I want to talk some more. I want to talk some more. Like we used to talk on the phone for hours. And this was again before anything physical ever between us. Like we used to talk for hours. So that for me is so essential, and just being able to connect on that level, because bodies get old, and people have surgery or people get sick, and you can't always and you can't always
swing
be
from
sexual.
The ceiling fan.
Yeah, exactly. You can't always swing from the ceiling fan. You can't always, drop it like it's hot. 69, and you're going to get old one day, and that 69 ain't going to wrap around like it used
lock
to.
Up.
Yeah.
Lock up. It take you 3 days to straighten out.
You be rolling in a ball.
Yeah, can't go to work, can't do nothing. You lock up for 3 days.
So it's like, and I have said that to people, who ask about relationships. Not that I want to give a relationship advice to anybody, because what works for us, I ain't gonna tell nobody, to be with a fugitive for 20 years. I just can't suggest that. So what works for us may not work for somebody else. But I always tell people it gotta be more than sex, because when you get up, what's next?
Mm-hmm.
When you get, and y'all might have a week where y'all, we have some weekends where we in here, we blink at each other and we right back at it. And then we have some weeks in here where it's just like, what's up? How you doing? Like, how was your day? And, clothes stay on. Well, we don't sleep with clothes on, but you know what I mean. So it got to be more than that for me. Mm-hmm. So that. Now, the only thing I would say that you got wrong, one, the chocolate thing, you're like perfect. Like anything lighter, I was never a fan of, like, when girls had that light skin, ooh, that was never my thing. So you're like a nice milky chocolate.
I didn't say I wasn't. I just said I think that you like the darker hue. Like even if we get to that question, we'll talk about that. But I just think you like the darker hue, man.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something though. Uh-huh. How often was you ready to get off that?
Oh, and I was just going to say the height thing. Like, I love you being tall. I never thought of that as being my type, though. It just so happened that you're tall, so I love that about you.
Definitely don't like midgets, so that's why I was saying you tall.
There's a big difference between being a little person and being tall.
And then you like...
Next question.
Liking regular people instead of little people. Not unless they kids. But how often are you scared?
Too often. Yeah, too often. Like if I really think about it on a deep level, I let my mind get the worst of me. Like, I be scared something will happen to my baby when he leave for work in the morning, driving on the highway when it's dark. Sometimes when, my sisters, my nieces and nephews, they, are in Georgia, and I think to myself, like, well, now school is out, but like, God, I hope nothing happens on the school. But like, my mind, like, and I don't know if that's like a little bit of paranoia or what. When my other sister, Sierra, she, when she's out with her friends and stuff, like, it drives me crazy. Like, I know she got to have a social life, but I be like checking her location, like, Jesus Christ. When I see she home, whoo, thank you, Jesus. Like, so I say that to say, so my fear is something happening to the people that I love most. Mm-hmm. I'm very infrequently afraid about like something happening to me. Like, I'm afraid in the dark, like everybody, like people who know me know that, but I just make sure that I'm not in the dark. So I'm not usually afraid for myself. So the things that I'm afraid of is something happening to people that I love, and sometimes a little bit of paranoia creeps up on me. So I'm scared too often, more than I would like to be. What about you?
Same answer. More than I would like to be. I'm scared a lot. Every day. Scared that I'm when I go to sleep at night, I'm afraid I'm not going to wake up. Leaving for work on the roads, being in an accident, getting a bad phone call that something has happened to you. I'm afraid that getting pulled over and something going wrong there. Although, it's almost like something never went wrong all those years that I didn't have ID and was a fugitive, and now that I'm legit, something goes wrong.
Right.
It's like one of them things, so that scares me. Thoughts I have about my daughter. So a lot scares me more often than I would like to be scared.
Yeah.
But I walk out the day. I'm a strong, head up, shoulders back man, and I'm gonna go out here and do what I got to do every day that I'm required. But I would be lying if I said I wasn't fearful.
Yeah, it's weird too, because I think a little bit of
stuff.
A little bit of fear is necessary to like keep you focused, but you can't let fear like control your life, because then I think that's like when people live with anxiety and that sort of thing, and it takes the joy away from life. But again, I'm probably more afraid.
Control is a strong word though, because it doesn't necessarily control, but it can impact all your decisions. It can a lot of your decisions. I don't want to say all, but a lot of your decisions. I mean, you as a man, you could be scared about getting into it with one of these young niggas that got a gun on them or something. Like it's just a lot that as a man you go out here every day and do the things that you do. And you're like, if you're being honest with yourself, it's like, it's places you don't go, places you don't drive, because shit could go down, shit could happen, or things you might not say because this could be interpreted the wrong way. So you, all day long, you dodge shit because of a fear of, I just don't want no problems. I want to make it home to my, the people that I love and do this all over again.
Right.
So yeah. What you got?
We kind of went away from it a little bit, but we were talking about just the intimacy in it being non-sexual. Yeah. What are you attracted to about me that isn't physical?
Plethora of things that isn't physical. So that's like I can't say your smile. That's physical.
I think.
Does that fall into physical?
I think that
you're physically doing that. Okay.
I had to do it to see
personality.
If that's considered physical.
Personality, your wit, your sense of humor, your corniness, what else am I attracted? Not physical. That takes a lot off the table. How hard you love. How deep you hurt.
That's pretty deep.
Yeah, that's about it.
No, when you said that, how deep you hurt, like that's pretty deep. I would say for you, it is your protectivity. Is that a word?
You can
your
make
protectiveness.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
Make it a word, protectivity.
Yeah. Your protectiveness. And
people
not just
who made the words was like protectivity don't sound
yeah.
like that.
And not just a
sound like a telekinesis.
And not just physical protection, but like your desire to protect me in all ways. Your protectiveness. Your focus, like how you put your mind to something and you're determined and you have a strong will to do the things that you want to do, or to not do the things that you don't want to do. That's very attractive to me. You're a leader, like in every sense of the word, but you do allow yourself to be led or taught. Like there's been things in our life that you may not, like when I think about God, like not that I taught you about God, but your relationship may not have been as strong.
I'm comfortable with you saying that.
Yeah, and you know, have allowed yourself to be led.
My grandmother introduced me to God, but you absolutely taught me about God. I mean, you was the one that I was able to ask questions about and wasn't shunned. Like, you would talk to me about stuff that you knew.
Yeah, but and some people don't allow. Some people aren't teachable, you know. So again, as much as you are a leader, you are willing to be led, but you are the head. You know, your headship reigns over our house, but in those areas where you may, you know, need for me to take the reins for a moment, you are open to that. So that is attractive in of itself. I would say your vulnerability, at this, especially in this phase of your life, like you allow yourself to feel your feels, and I love that emotion about you. The way that you care for those that you care, and it's different than how I might care because it's your way, and it's, you know, may not be as soft as I am, but just the way that you allow yourself to care and to be vulnerable and to not be afraid to be vulnerable. That's very attractive. That's very attractive. The fact that, you know, you don't put on that hardcore men don't cry, you know, I'm a man, I gotta suck it up kind of thing. Like, nah, that ain't, you don't put that armor on, and that's good. Like, that ain't, I don't feel that that's healthy. And again, when we talk about what's attractive, it's attractive to me that you are okay in showing your vulnerability. Yeah, that's all.
Jesus Christ, that was deep. That was deep. What was your first celebrity crush?
Bobby Brown.
Lighten it up. Ooh, look at you, all that gyrating in the bed.
No,
he used to wear no drawers with his khakis.
I never even thought about him not.
Because when he used to do that, I used to like. Look at you.
I never thought about him not wearing drawers.
Nasty
but
ass.
I love. I wanna rock with you, baby.
My prerogative.
And my prerogative, of course. But yeah, I love Bobby Brown. I remember I got a beating over Bobby Brown. I did, because I was supposed to wash out the tub. After I had got out the tub, but American Music Awards was on, and he was performing. And when I got out the tub, I hurried up and went and wanted to watch it, and I lied and said that I had washed out the tub, and I didn't. It was stupid. I lied. It was dumb, and got in trouble for them. Bobby Brown.
It's not a good lie at all.
Who was your first celebrity?
My first celebrity crush was Jada Pinkett.
Is that? Oh, that's right. And your daughter.
Yep, named Jada. Yep. That was my first celebrity crush.
But babe, that's crazy. So, I mean, when did you start? So we were introduced to Jada at different facets of her career. Did you have a crush on her during different world times? During Jason's Lyric? Like
during
when?
Jason's Lyric. During those times, not during different world times. I didn't like the way they dressed with that shit. The baggy pants and I didn't like that shit. But yeah, it was more towards Jason's Lyric when she got a little bit growner.
And then Menace to Society.
Menace to Society, yeah. Menace to Society, she was like, that was, I'm in the bind, Nate.
That was set it off.
Yeah.
Menace to Society was when
set it off though. That was she was tight in that, especially at the end when she had her braids. Yeah, she looked really good then. Yeah. But yeah, I've always liked Jada Pinkett when she became Jada Pinkett Smith. You know.
You didn't have a celebrity crush like as a kid, or you just don't remember, like Rudy or somebody?
No, it was
Moesha.
I didn't like Moesha when she was young. Vanessa Del Rio, but she was a porn star.
Babe, oh my God.
Yeah, so no.
Lord have mercy.
I was outside.
Obviously. Come, you ready for 3 grams?
Yes. Puppy Trial. A lot has come out since last week. This is going to be a weekly thing, I guess, for the next few weeks. Puffy is out there. Nigga is just beyond freakiness. I think it's been about 8-9 days now, and people are saying the prosecution is starting to gain momentum and win and laying out their case with the racketeering and the physical harm that he was caused, the intimidation, which leads to coercion, and this is where they might get him at. What are your thoughts on what you've heard so far? Oh, Kid Cudi testified also this week saying that, you know, Puff, he blew up his Porsche. He also broke into his house, opened up his gifts, and locked his dog in his his bathroom. Puff, he cut a hole in the roof of his Porsche, climbed in and started a fire. Puff was just doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff. It's come out now that he's licking semen off of Cassie. Not only, you know, a week before that, it was just semen on the nipples. Now he's licking it off Cassie. What's your thoughts on everything that you heard? Do you think they're going to get him?
I really don't know.
Thoughts on what you heard, and do you think they're going to get him? Two-part question.
The thoughts of what I heard just reminds me, like I've been saying this a lot about different people in the world and different scenarios. You just never know who people are. Like, you really don't. I mean, and we don't, as, you know, the general public. Those people who were involved in those situations, they do. But it also makes me think, like, when you think about all the escorts that they've been with, again, this could be somebody at the gym that you're seeing, you know, somebody who's a bank teller by day, escort by night. Like, you just have no idea who you're interacting with on a day-to-day basis and what people do. You know, celebrities, millionaires, billionaires included. You just have no idea what people do behind closed doors. And it also reminds me in some ways that he's a regular dude who, you know, when you talk about he's a regular dude with different money. When you talk about blowing up somebody's Porsche, breaking in the house, like, I'm not opposed to, like, some of those things in the situation. If it's like, you know, somebody was cheating on me, or you broke up when you with somebody else.
Warranted, huh?
Yeah, like, I'm not opposed to those things. Like,
you fucking whack job.
Like, I might blow her car up if, you know, I found out you was cheating and you with her. Like, yeah, I might do some things.
You might lock a dog in her fucking bathroom.
I might steal her dog. How about that? So, I mean, yeah. But do I think they're going to get him? I think they're going to have to in some kind of way. I don't know if on all the charges, but with all of these things, for the domestic violence and the escorts, if for nothing else, I mean, he's not on trial for domestic violence, but I think no matter what people say, like, oh, Cassie participated or she was in agreement, that video and the reports of abuse and stuff, the jury, whether it's legally right or not, that's going to be in their minds as saying, she may have said yes to all of these things 9,000 times, but on time 9,001 when she didn't want to and you made her, hence the crime. So I think they're going to get him on what, I don't know, but I think he's going to be convicted. Now, the question is whether he's going to do time or if it's going to be like convicted in house arrest or probation or time served. Well, that remains to be seen.
This is the feds, and those things carry a certain amount of time and points. So his charges is racketeering, coercion, and domestic abuse.
Okay.
So just on those things alone, do you think that as a society we really mean you can be as freaky as you want behind closed doors?
Yeah.
Like when you hear shit like this.
I do.
You want to walk amongst people or have a friend that you might speak to at work or, you know, have lunch with at work or drink coffee with in the morning that, you know, lick semen off of people.
I mean,
like, do you want to? I mean, and I'm trying to speak loosely about it, but just like the people we walk amongst, just like you wouldn't like. Do we really mean that when we say, hey, be as freaky as you want to be as behind closed doors?
No, I feel like be as freaky as you want to be with your spouse. You know, not to Jesus things out, but God didn't intend for us to live like that. Like, we aren't supposed to just be out
like
here
all that
having,
sticking stuff in you and all
having
this
orgies
kind of like,
and buying escorts. Like, that shouldn't be part of. I do feel like you should be able to.
They were married though.
No, they're not.
No, I thought he married Cassie. Oh, okay, all right.
No, you should, and even then, even if they were introducing other people. So when I say be as freaky as you want with your spouse, I mean like just the two of you. I don't think people should include,
Other
third
people,
parties and fourth parties and fifth parties into their relationship. Like, so yes, I do think now if a man and a woman is in the house and now, don't be like introducing gerbils and stuff either into the equation. But, if you want to spank him, he want to spank you. Y'all want a ball gag. Y'all want, a swing from the ceiling.
What
y'all
if we
want
want to put in a little kiddie pool and fill it up with baby oil and slip around in it?
Yeah, have a blast. You're going to need some money for carpet cleaning. Have a blast. It's you and your spouse. Have fun. Be freaky. We not.
I want to walk around butt naked all the time with a mask on.
That probably would be funny. Like I'm all for it as long as no children are involved, no animals are involved, and I don't think that people should include third parties in their relationship.
What if I say, babe, I'm going on a masturbation kick and I just want to like watch and just masturbate? I don't want to do no touching. I don't want to do no intercourse. Like, this is good for me.
You can probably do that for a couple days, but at some point, I'm going to want to touch. Like,
He said a couple days. I'm thinking like I want to be on this for like a year or two.
No.
No?
You're going to wake up and find yourself in something. Like, no, that's not going to happen. No, I don't know who you think this is.
Second gram. The Louisiana prison escape. What was it? 11 of them escaped. 4 of them are caught. 7 of them still on the run.
I'll just say, I don't know what these gentlemen did. Like, I seen, they went out, they moved. I don't know what their charges are. I mean, individually.
Right.
I hope none of them have not harmed any children or are not a harm to society in the sense of, like, they're not in jail for, like, murder, rape, violence towards another human.
Children.
Yeah, especially children or their, like, girlfriends or anything like that. Not to say other crimes are good, but if like they're in there for like drugs or robbery or something,
those are non-violent. Well, robbery isn't.
Yeah, I mean, like if you stole something,
a non-violent crime.
So I say that to say I don't want them to be out in the world if they're a danger to other people, and I think they should have to serve their crimes when they for whatever they did. They served time for the crimes. But I hope they got far away, at least just to say they did. It burns me up when somebody escapes and they like, you escape from CFCF and you home. Or you at your grandma's house. Or you even in Camden. It's like, you done had all this time. You ain't hopped on a Greyhound bus and got to Illinois somewhere. They probably still are going to catch you. But at least show that you made some kind of effort to get away. You went right back to your baby mom house. But I mean, and I can understand.
Mom, your mom, your aunts, they watch
anybody who you was calling, anybody who was putting money on your books, anybody. I don't think people write letters anymore because they have like emails. Like anybody you had contact with, they're going to be at their house, watching their house. Anybody who you previously did
Asian
crimes
man out
with,
there.
yeah, they're going to be looking on your social media to see who your friends are. So I would feel like if you were on the run, like have some sense. Like the guy they found on the bench, I was thinking to myself, either one, he don't had no family,
he should have left.
Or 2, his family could have been like, you can't come here because they're going to kick my door in.
Yep.
So don't come here. Like that, and again, if that's the case, and if you didn't have bus fare to go on a Greyhound somewhere, then you should have kept your behind in jail.
Out. You just got out of CFCF. It's 1:00 in the morning. You got a token and 40 cents, or not a token, but you got a bus pass. Accept a bus pass. What are you doing? Where are you going? How are you getting on Greyhound? Where are you getting money from? You don't have a phone. How are you going to get far? Like, let's just play it out. What's your plan to do?
Okay, so at that time, they don't know that you have left yet, right?
No, yeah. You don't
got a couple hour window before they realize that
until they count, yeah.
Right, so
depending on if you broke out a half hour before count.
I'm going to Center City. I'm going to get a cup and panhandle some money for a little bit, and I'm getting on the Greyhound bus.
What about your prison clothes?
I'm going to No, I'm taking that off, and I'm immediately taking that off, and probably because what they have like
orange jumpsuits, underwear underneath that, or shorts and a white T-shirt. So you got an orange jumpsuit on, overalls, like a jumpsuit that a one piece, and underneath that, most guys wear their shorts. Some guys just wear drawers, and then you got on a tank top or a white T-shirt.
So I'm finding a parking lot, which they're everywhere, that have those clothes bins, and I'm going. A lot of times people will leave stuff on the outside.
I was ready to say because you can't get in there.
Yeah, a lot of times people will leave bags on, and it might take you a couple different ones to look at. But I'm finding anything to put on, or not to say get yourself in trouble for stealing something else. I'm finding my way to a Walmart or something, throwing on a pair of sweatpants and walking out the door. Like, the T-shirt is fine, but you got to get rid of the orange jumpsuit. Now, if you in one of those jails where they wear like khakis in a white shirt, then you got a little more flexibility because it don't look as out of the box.
So how do you walk in Walmart with your orange jumpsuit on?
No, you're going to walk in there with your drawers and a T-shirt on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
People crazy, they walk in Walmart. You just walk in there, hopefully your drawers look like shorts.
They letting people steal anything under $900 now, so you be able to walk.
Yeah, nobody ain't chasing you. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, that's kind of how.
All right, how you getting from Walmart to the Greyhound?
You might
How you getting on that? What if somebody asks for ID? What do you do?
You walking.
And where are you going? You got no phone. What's your destination? When you get on this Greyhound, where are you going and who to?
You going to nobody that you know. Like, you better be prepared to start over and not have any contact with anybody. That's why, again, this can't just be a split decision, like a spur of the moment decision. This has to be something that you thought about and planned, because you cannot be calling your baby mom.
They're gonna call you diabolical now. They say you planned the escape.
You can't call your baby mom. You can't call your grandma. You can't call your cousin. Like, you have to have the mindset of, I am going to start a new life. I'm going to Nebraska. Or you know what you do? You go to Home Depot, you wait in the parking lot, you see if somebody needs some work or something. You work for them for a day.
That's better than stealing.
You get $40, and now
you can catch the Chinese bus. Now you can end up in Boston, but you in Dorchester. You getting off the Chinese bus. What are you doing? You finding a restaurant, trying to wash dishes?
Trying to wash dishes. You going to a Home Depot or a Lowe's there to help, you going to a supermarket parking lot, asking somebody they need help putting their bags in the car. Like, you doing something you going to the Poppy store, asking them if they need somebody, to make some cheesesteaks in the bag. Like, you doing something to help, put some money in your pocket under the table where you don't know anybody and nobody knows. And guess what? You may also have to accept the fact, if it's not the winter time, that you might have to sleep outside. You're going to have to find where the homeless people are, and you're going to have to integrate yourself so that you don't stick out like a sore thumb.
Yep. Until you get some money in your pocket.
I know how to be
get
undercover.
Yourself a room.
I know.
Get yourself a room, then get yourself an apartment. You might have to live in one of these motels for $200 a week.
You're going to have to lay low, keep your mouth shut, and blend in. That's all.
I agree.
I pray that they don't hurt anybody. And I pray that if they are found that it's like, go back to jail. Don't get yourself killed.
Nah, it ain't worth dying for.
It ain't worth dying.
Last round. Do you think that in this society now, just thinking, now try to think out loud and not answer so quickly, but think outside the box. Do you think they could do away with school and what we teach our kids as far as them hitting their milestones, ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, we can teach at home and kids don't have to go to school at all? Or do you think they need something that you get other than the social part? Because you can do that yourself with playgrounds and play dates and having your kids around other kids so that they can socialize. But the stuff they teach you from kindergarten to 12, do you think it's necessary in society today? That curriculum that we grew up on? Or can a kid not go from kindergarten to 12 be taught at home the fundamentals of how to count, how to read, how to spell, all that kind of shit, and then experience life.
Hell yeah. There's a lot of people that are homeschooled. Like, there are homeschool
Not necessarily,
communities.
but homeschooled is like you still got a curriculum, you still taking tests and all that kind of shit. I'm talking about no school.
No, I'm talking about homeschool like your parents do it.
But isn't that the curriculum as well? I don't know about homeschool, so I'm asking. Is homeschool a curriculum that you get and you're teaching your kid throughout all these years? Or is it just you at home saying, hey, I'm going to teach you fucking ABCs today?
Well, I mean, from what I've seen, people who homeschool, they do have, I don't want to say like it's a curriculum they get. There are some people who follow like a home, I'm just making this up because I don't know what it's called, but like Homeschool Association of America might have a standard curriculum.
Right.
Or there may be some parents that say, I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to find the things, whether it's flashcards, books, whatever, and teach my kids, and do it that way. So not everybody may have a standardized curriculum. They may create their own curriculum, but they're learning and teaching them. So there are people that do that. So do I think that it's possible? Yes, on a small scale. Do I think that it's possible for everybody? No, because unfortunately not everybody's home life is conducive to being homeschooled, whether it's the environment they live in or maybe their parents may not have the knowledge to, and it sounds crazy, but you got some parents who can't help their second grader with homework.
I know.
Yeah. So I don't think that is something that is even feasible to do like as a whole, but I think in some cases it's beneficial. The social aspect, yes, I knew a girl part of my mentoring group that I'm part of who graduated last year, and she was homeschooled, but like she still went on prom because again it was some sort of like
program or something
where like all the people who were homeschooled came together for different social activities and things like that. Again, I don't think it's good for all children. You got to know your kids and your family. This is lady I follow on Facebook. She has 11 kids and her and her husband have 11 children and she's pregnant with number 12. She was they're very religious. Like she was homeschooled. Her kids are all homeschooled. So when you have that sort of thing, you got your own damn school right there. You got all the grades right there. Right. So again, I think you have to know your kids and what their needs are. And you also have to be able to identify if you're able to fill them. And maybe you can, for the most part, you just need a couple different supplements. Like, okay, I'm a homeschool, but I'm sending her to a tutor for this, or I'm sending him to a math instructor for this because I can't quite get that. Or you may have to realize, what? They need to be in a setting that's different than what I'm able to offer.
I think that I agree with you. I think that the curriculum you're taught, the social studies, the language arts, the math, the algebra, even if you go into those fields, you don't really use that stuff. And I just think that I don't think that all of it is necessary. I'm not saying that you can't be taught some of that stuff to a certain degree at home as far as what algebra you need, but everybody don't need calculus. Everybody don't need math 25, and everybody don't need all this elementary functions and all that kind of shit. Like, that's just stuff that they want to teach you. Everybody don't need to know the history that they teach you. Everybody don't need to read all these paragraphs and answer all these questions in language arts. Like, that stuff is...
Language arts is grammar, though. So I don't agree with the language arts part.
Well, then call it grammar and teach me about grammar. And I'm receptive to that. But reading 5 paragraphs to answer 5 questions that's not teaching me anything. And again, if you call that, hey, we're teaching you how to read.
Reading comprehension.
Yeah, reading comprehension, it's too much to read. Like, about 1 paragraph and then answer a couple questions. But to read like a couple of pages and have to answer 5 questions, no, that's you can get lost in that. At least I do. And I think it's unnecessary.
Yeah, I think to a certain extent.
Social studies? Are you kidding me? No. Don't even get me started on Mesopotamia.
It's a wrap, people.
It's a wrap. Back to the podcast, episode 228. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Podcast Index, Podchaser, Google Podcast Player, FM. It's your boy, International Walt.
It's your girl, Tash, the co-hostess with the mostest.
If y'all fuck with us, we'll fuck with y'all.
And if you don't, you should.
Peace.